Okay, today we are going to discuss a concept on attitude. So here the attitude means what? Huh? Here the attitude in the sense different peoples will having a different kinds of attitude. The way they were behaving for their self and others. Some of may having a their favorable and unfavorable objectives of responding for their self. All the peoples doesn't having over a same kind of attitude. So here under that attitude we are having a different types like as cognitive attitude, behavioral attitude, and affective attitude, positive and negative attitude. Mainly we can consider only for a positivity and negative attitude of individuals. So here the concept of this cognitive attitude. So this cognitive attitude might be relevant to know the people's perception towards the individuals and for themselves. Cognitive attitude mainly indicates over the perception of the individuals for themselves and to others. So all the people doesn't be aware of the same things. So different peoples will be perceive the things into a different ways. Yes or no? So here one object is there. So that object while seeing you all here you are all having over a 40 and 50 of strength. So then you all seen that thing or an object you all perceive in the same way, not at all. So different peoples will have to perceive the object into a different ways. So like I can go for draw a object on a blackboard, so that might be round circle. So then some of maybe think to it may be a circle, and some of may perceive the thing or object that like maybe a globe. So globe is also in a round circle, and some of may think to like as a ball. So that means what? So all the people doesn't having a same kind of perception. Different peoples will having over a different kinds of perception levels. So that's the here that tells about the attitude is not same for all the people. All the people will having a different attitude levels. So the individual the way they were responding to a favorable and unfavorable objects for to others and one to their self. So that is has an attitude. Cognitive attitude in the sense the way we are perceiving the things and the objects. Here another one is for a affective attitude. So affective attitude in the sense what are so the individuals may not having same feelings, may not having same emotions, and same time that all the people doesn't be having to affectionate to some others. So some of may having emotionally fools, and some of may be emotionally intelligent, some of may be fearless, and some of may be fearful. So in that way, so all the people doesn't having a same kind of feelings and their emotions. So that is their attitude. Okay, so for example one incident will be happen, so some of maybe react it as very emotionally, some of may not, because they become as an emotional intelligence, they can know how they can balance the how they can balance over their emotions. Okay, so that is the affective attitude. So here under that cognitive attitude will tells about the attitude is not same for all the things, that in the sense the perception level of individuals that might not be same, different people will have to perceive the things into a different ways. So like that here the affective attitude tells about this attitude people they have to having an emotions and beliefs towards the objects in the sense things. So if any incident and accident that might be happened, so they have to know their own emotions. So all people they may not be become to as a emotional intelligence, and some of may not be an emotional intelligence, and some of may not be an emotional piece. That means what the individual will doesn't having a same kind of attitude, different kinds of peoples will having over a different kinds of attitude. So that is for the cognitive and affective, and another one is behavioral attitude. So if you all may having here all you have to behave in the same way, no, your behavior might be different. So here attitude tells about the way you are behaving. Attitude tells about the way you are behaving to others. Some of may be very arrogant, some of may be very polite, some of may be very sarcastic. So in the sense what, so that's their individual behavior. So then we can become it as a good attitude person, then we can change our behavior from bad manners to the good ones. So then what type of behavior actually we are having, we can think and we can assess and we can analyze by individuals for their self only. Okay, so here the behavioral attitude will tell us about the way we are behaving to the things. So if all may not be behave in the same way, so different people will behave in the different ways. Like as while we can take an example of in the organizations, the employees will be there, so the way we are behaving to our colleagues, we are not like same behave with our superiors. The way we can treat with our family members and friends, the way we are not treat with our peer groups. So in that way we can change the way of behavior while we can communicate to whom. So communication is also a main part and parcel in our personality development. Then we have to become as a good personality developer, then we are having to develop the good attitude for ourselves. So everyone will having an attitude, but we have to know where we can use which type of attitude. So that attitude may not be disclose all the people in the same manner. Okay, so attitude might be differ from individuals, the way we can change it, that's an important thing. So behavioral attitude will tell us about the way of behaving to others. So whether we will having a good behavior, so that no problem, then we have to go and we can communicate to anyone. So as per the level of communication we can maintain over for it. So if we are not having a right behavior, then we don't know so from whom we are going to talk. From if the person might be an elder or superior, how can we behave? If the person might be a younger, how can we behave? That's what we have to check. So the behavior might be differ from individuals, the way of behaving might having a good kind of attitude. So that's behavior is also tell about the individual attitude. Some of may having very politeness, so because they will be sit in front of others, they might having very their behavior might be controllable, their attitude might be controllable, the way of communication might be sufficient and effective, so they know everything. But some of may don't know in what way they were sitting and the way of style they were talking and the way of communicating, so they were not bothered about all these things. For that we should have to think of the way we are communicating effectively, so that might be having focus on the behavior of the individuals. Okay, and now the main concept we can discuss over here under this personality development is for positive and negative attitude. So the main these two are the attitude that was having for an human beings and the individuals, positive attitude and the negative attitude. If even the people will having a positive attitude, they always be thinking a positive way, so they are very committed to work, they are very humble and trustworthy people. So they are having a hard workers, so they are having a what they were having, they were having a dedication towards their work, they were having a patience, so they don't go for blame to others. So even if any complicated situation it might be arises, they can control, they should become it as an emotional intelligence instead of emotional fools. So these are the qualities that person will having, that person will having a positive attitude. The positive attitude influence the positive environment. So in the business organization, enough for general life, we definitely require for the positivity. The positivity is only helpful for the individual to get succeed in their life. So negative attitude people, they will feel it all might be a negative. So that in the sense the entire environment they should go for blame. So they can blame with their parents, they can blame with their friends, and they can blame with their colleagues, and at the same time they can blame with entire world also. So because so they can think and they can see everything will be on a mirror. So they can see, they can see everything will be on a mirror, because so they can't control their emotions, so they were not having a proper behavior, and they the way they should be the act in front of the people. So here the negative attitude people, they can't control and they can't balance all their emotions and their attitudes and the way they should communicating to others. For that they should always be blamed. So even they were done the mistake for their self, but they can go for blaming on others. So in the sense, for example, if while we can observe in our family also, so what it will be happen, గవాల చేజారు ఏమైనా పడింది అనుకోండి మన చేతిలో నుంచి, కాకపోతే మన మదర్ చేతిలో నుంచే పడింది అనుకోండి, సో సింప్లీ ద మదర్ విల్ బ్లేమ్ విత్ ద చిల్డ్రన్, నువ్వు అలా అల్లరి చేయడం వల్లే అది పడిపోయింది. వాట్ ద లింక్ బిట్వీన్ దీస్ టూ? అప్ టు దట్ ఐ కాంట్ అండర్స్టాండ్. అంతే కదా. సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అక్కడ స్టవ్ మీద ఏదైనా పెట్టి మర్చిపోయింది, మాడిపోయింది అనుకో, సో ఏం చెప్తారు, నువ్వు ఫోన్ చూసుకుంటున్నావు, నీ గోల్లో పడిపోయి అది పాడైపోయింది అంటారు. సో వాట్ ఇట్ వాజ్ లింక్, నేను ఫోన్ చూడడానికి అక్కడ అన్నం మాడిపోవడానికి ఏమైనా డిఫరెన్స్ ఉందా, ఏమైనా లింక్ ఉందా, నాకు ఇప్పటికీ అర్థం కాదనమాట. సో ఇలా జరుగుతూ ఉంటది అనమాట. సో అంటే ఏంటి, అది యాక్చువల్ గా అది అలా జరగడానికి రీజన్ ఏంటి? సో వీఆర్ నాట్ కాన్సన్ట్రేటెడ్ టు దట్ వన్. సో వీఆర్ నాట్ హ్యావింగ్ a knowledge over what it will be going on in a kitchen room, but the blame is from others. We are giving the blame to others in the sense, so that might having a negativity. So that mistake will never be identify ourselves. The mistake always be showcase onto the others. So the negative attitude people continuously be the mistakes always be blamed to on others. They can't be rectify their mistakes. So ఇప్పుడు ఇలా జరిగింది కదా, నెక్స్ట్ టైం we didn't repeat it, we can't go for leaving on the stove and we can't be go and sit on a bedroom, అలా ఆలోచించరు. They might always be blamed to others. So that means what it's called between and negativity of an individual people. So ఇలా కాకుండా ఉండాలి అంటే మనం ఏం చేయాలంటే always we have to get some experience over to our mistakes. So at that time only we can get a positivity and we can rectify our negative attitude. So negative attitude people always be blamed to others. So in the sense, so they were never be having to accept their mistakes. So that is the main problem of negative attitude. But here in the positive attitude people, they can accept their mistake and they can rectify it, they can learn some experience over for that. So we are always become as a positive attitude people. So then we have to overcome all those problems that might be happening to our future also. So while we can come to the point, some of the advantages is there for positive attitude. So at the same time disadvantages is there while we can having a negative attitude also. So the positive attitude people will having the main advantage is for increasing productivity. The productivity might be increases. In what way we can increase the productivity? So if we are having a positive attitude, we never blame to others. So while we can take an example in the organization point of view, one work is delegated by the management unto the employees. So then what it will be happen, then we have to accomplish within time. So there will having a team members. So 5 members and 6 members will be there. These 5 and 6 members will also act like as a positive attitude. So they might not go for any negativity. So in the sense what, so here under this positive attitude people, if one fails to do the work and another person will have to overcome that. So if they might having a negative attitude, what it will be happen, their perception towards the work, it might be, so why should I do their work? So that is the negativity. So if they not complete the work in time, in the sense we are not get any productivity, so there is no outcome that was generated by the company. If there is no outcome, in the sense we are not completed the project in time, that might be fails to do the work in the organization. So it's an efficient way of doing business? Not at all. The efficiency, in the sense the efficiency might be measured in the team level. So in the team members, one will fails to do, another will have to take place and they can control and coordinate over the work and they should produce the effective result. So that's what we can call it as a individual work is less productivity than the teamwork. Teamwork will give the more productivity, more positive result, more helpful for the organization. Because individual work, one will have to do the mistakes because no one is there to rectify it. In the group work and the team work, one will have to do the mistake, the another one will can cover over for the mistake and they can overcome that risk element and they have to give a more quality result to the organization. Okay, so this positivity will helps to increase the productivity. Negativity, if the same we can apply over the negative, same we can apply the negative attitude, what it will be happen, one can fails to do the work, so others may not take over that work, so that work might be delayed. So delaying of work, in the sense that might not completed within time. So then what it will be happen, managers are definitely give a remark and send a memo to the employees. So that's what it will be happen. So the or might be a remark that was generated, in the sense no promotions, no increment that was get over by the employees in the organization. So then what we have to do, one will fails to do it, the rest of the people will have to overcome and might produce the effective results. So that is the increasing productivity is the main advantage for the positive attitude. So positive attitude that was having for an individual, then we can increase the productivity in the organization. Productivity in the sense the result and outcome. So what the work we have to perform efficiently in the organization. Okay, so next one is a foster teamwork. Foster teamwork. So if we are having positive, then we can coordinate with others, then we can mingle with others, then we can done some discussion. If you are not that means if you are unable to do work, so then we have to make a discussion and we can get some clarification some others and we can perform it well. The teamwork we can get through a positive attitude. If negative attitude people, what they have to done, if even they don't know how to do the work in the organization, but they can't go to ask for someone, so that kind of attitude having over for a negative people. Okay, so if the negative people will know the work, some others whom having a positive, they will come and ask how to do this. They were not explain the work also, because why should I do? So in that perception they were having, ఎందుకు చేయాలి నేను అని చెప్పి పర్సెప్షన్ లో ఉంటారు, నాకు వచ్చు నేను పక్కనోడికి చెప్పడం ఎందుకు అన్న ఆలోచనలో ఉంటారు. అదే పాజిటివిటీ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారు అంటే, ఇఫ్ దే నో అండ్ దే ఆల్సో ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ టు అదర్స్, సో దే ఆల్సో సమ్ అదర్స్ హూ విల్ హ్యావింగ్ ఎ పాజిటివ్ యాటిట్యూడ్, దే కెన్ ఆల్సో లెర్న్ ఫ్రమ్ దోస్ people. So if the negative attitude will leads to failure of teamwork. So we have to make a teamwork in the sense, we have to make a good teamwork in the sense, definitely we require the positive attitude. If the positive attitude people only done the teamwork, and they will give the more possible results of the organization. Okay, and the next third one is for solve problems. So definitely in the organization different problems will be there. Okay, so in the organization different problems might be arises, disputes is there, conflicts is there, complicated situations will be arises, but we are having an ability to resolve all these things. So how can we resolve it? So whenever we are having a positive attitude, then only we can resolve. If we are having a negative attitude, what we can do, we can spread some more, we can make an issue. So if we are having a negative attitude, we can't go for rectify these problems. So we can always be think to how can we move more issues, how can we generate some more complicated situations in the organization. In that way we can think in our mind, అంతే కదా. సో పాజిటివ్ యాటిట్యూడ్ ఉందనుకోండి, ఒక చిన్న ప్రాబ్లం వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, మనం ఏం చేస్తాము, ఆ ప్రాబ్లం కి సొల్యూషన్ ఏంటి, దాన్ని ఎలా మనం సాల్వ్ చేసుకోవాలి, సో దాని గురించి ఆలోచిస్తాం. అదే నెగిటివ్ యాటిట్యూడ్ ఉందనుకో, ఏం చేస్తాము, సో ఒక ప్రాబ్లం వచ్చింది, దాన్ని ఇంకొంచెం పెద్దది చేద్దాం, ఇంకొంచెం పెద్దది చేసి దాన్ని పెద్ద ఇష్యూ కింద క్రియేట్ చేసి ఇంకా తర్వాత ఏం చేస్తాం, స్ట్రైక్స్ బండ్స్ అని చెప్పి కంపెనీ మూపిచ్చేద్దాం. సో దిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ యాటిట్యూడ్, దట్స్ వాట్ జనరేటెడ్ ఇన్ ద నెగటివ్ యాటిట్యూడ్ పీపుల్. If even we are having a positive attitude, so we always be think over how can we calm down this problem, how can we resolve the situation, how can we again make generated as usual work in the organization. So in that way they were thinking as we are having a positive attitude. Okay, so if we are having a negative attitude, our mindset might be different while compared to the positive attitude people. And next one is improves quality. Improve quality. So if the positive attitude people always be think to improving quality of work. So because now at present we are doing this, how well we can perform on the next day, how well we are giving the more result onto the next month. So in what way we have to develop the company, in what way we can generate more returns for the organization, for the sake of organization, what we have to do, the things all we have to, all the things we have to then whenever we are having a positive attitude. If we are having a negative attitude, what we will think, okay, the company timing might be 10 to 6, in that only we have to work, now we can complete the work, that's enough. If not today it was fails to do so, and next day we can postpone it, if next day fails to do so, and next day we can postpone it. So that's the laziness we are generated, because we are not having any responsibility towards the company. So if even we are having a responsibility in the sense we can complete the work within time, we don't have any responsibility, just we can come from 10 and we can come go out from 5 or 6 o'clock, that's enough. In between that only how much of work we can done, that's enough for. So whenever the lunch break will become, when we have to complete our lunch, so then over to of our work. So we never be bother about for the organization and their organizational profits and the organizational returns. So we only bother for of our salaries. So we are earning the salary per month or not, so that's over and hence the matter. But either we are having a positive attitude, so we always be think to for the sake of organization what we have to do, for the sake of organization what we have to do. So if we are performing this work, so more than that we can go for it. So if more work we can perform in this working times, so why we are not doing that, why we are doing this, how committed to work hard, so what way we can achieve more returns for the organization, how can we accomplish the goal. So if we can accomplish all these things, the always be management will monitor us, always the management will keep eye on us, so they can check out who they were work perform it well, so they were definitely giving the highest salaries and also giving increments also. So for that we can bother only for how well we can perform in the organization. So that's bothering only having for a positive attitude person. If we are having a negative attitude, we are not bothering of all these things, we only bother about of our salary, we can enjoy the salary or not, so we can complete the work within time or not. So we are not think over any of the quality improvement, we are not responsible for generation of return and all these things. Okay, so that is the next one. So if you all are note the points, the next important thing is for makes for congenial atmosphere. So we always be make our working environment might be positive. So positivity and a positive atmosphere will always be leads the organization will be in a positive way. So if we are not having a positivity in the sense of our surroundings, of our surrounding peoples all might be having a negativity. So even if the person will having a negative and we can observe over for it and we are trying to change their attitude and we can behave it in a positive way to others. The 100% positivity is also the danger for an individual. So then we are having a assessing power who will be an having a positive and who will be a negative, that's what also we can check out. Okay.